Hello again. In this video we're going to take a look at another situation of an arrest which eventually goes right, but you can see here a lack of training among these police officers and why police officers need to have self-defense training. Let's take a look at this here. So we've got an uncooperative suspect. You're going to see just how dangerous one person can be and how difficult it can be for one person to handle a suspect here. You're going to have 5 cops in this situation against one guy.
Hey, get on the ground now! No!
So here you can see the suspect is not cooperating with police. You can see he's walking away from the police. Right away, I believe the first officer here is going to come up and try to make the arrest by going hands-on, grabbing the suspect. If you already have somebody that you know is not cooperating with you, then you know that as soon as you put your hands on them, they're going to start fighting back. It's almost expected that they're going to fight back with you if you try to put a hand on them. So we're going to see here, never tried to go to the taser, never tried to go to pepper spray, never tried to do anything else, just right away went to hands-on with this suspect who looks to be a fairly big, strong guy. So we're going to see here, the officer is about to get punched. So here you can see right away he went to grab the suspect's arm. Suspect spun around, hauled off, punched him in the face. That might have been the officer that got the bloody nose, I'm not sure. But we're going to see now there's a chase that ensues. So again, we're watching all of this footage here from the officer's body cam, and you can see just how much resistance one person can put up against multiple police officers. You can see that he's knocking down these officers like they're bowling pins, just one after another. He's just knocking them down, or they're falling down as soon as he takes a swing at them or makes an approach. You can clearly see that these officers have no self-defense training whatsoever. They have no hand-to-hand combat skills, no training in martial arts. They are completely defenseless, just like putting an ordinary citizen out there on the streets with no training whatsoever. So we're going to move a little forward here again.
We need a taser operator now.
Now you can actually hear one of the police officers say that we need a taser out here right now, which implies that none of these police officers are equipped with a taser. I'm wondering if none of them were equipped with pepper spray either, because I find it hard to believe that the only options they have available is their baton and lethal option with a firearm. To not have a taser, to not have pepper spray, seems to me like these officers are unequipped to deal with this situation. Unequipped to deal with any situation other than through lethal force. So we're going to continue here a little bit further. We're going to see, this is now a perspective from a bystander who's watching this. I don't know if they're in their car or if they're standing across the street, but a bystander is now recording this. The incident has been going on long enough that a crowd is starting to form. This is another reason why police officers need to act quickly and decisively when they're making an arrest. The clock is ticking from the moment that you make first contact with that suspect. And you have to make the arrest and get them out of there fast before the crowd can form. If a crowd can form, it's already too late and you've already failed in making the arrest. So let's watch this. You can see how things are starting to go bad because now people are watching.
This nigga done beat up the police.
You can see one police officer with a bloody nose already.
Yeah, I needed some good footage.
Another thing that never ceases to amaze me is how a crowd of bystanders will always take the side of the bad guy, will always take the side of the suspect. They'll never take the side of the police. So if you're a police officer, if you're a bouncer, if you're private security, always remember that the people around you are never on your side. They are always going to be a danger and a threat to you and your team members. And that's why you have to make the arrest and get the suspect out of there as quickly as you possibly can. I don't care if you have to pick them up and drag them into the patrol car. You have to get them out of there and off that scene fast. If you're a bouncer, you've got to get that person out of the nightclub fast before they know what hit them, before their buddies know what hit them. You can't fool around. You can't take this kind of time to make an arrest. So we're going to see here, this is going to continue. Look at how many police officers are present here. You look at this, there's at least 3 police officers on one guy. It's one unarmed male and 3 male police officers armed with batons.
Look at dude fighting the police.
And you can see here, again, the police officers are being entirely too patient with their approach. They're giving this guy too much time and space. They're allowing this situation to drag on far longer than it should have. They're not equipped to handle the situation. All they have is the little retractable batons. If you've ever seen them or used them, they are borderline useless in a combat situation. They just don't deliver enough force to do any real damage, especially if somebody is on drugs or has high pain tolerance. People just ignore them. So you look at what they have, they basically only have one option, and that is to use a firearm, and they don't want to do that. So we're going to go forward here, and you're going to see, as this continues, suspect has also been injured. You can see this police officer is hitting him with the baton and nothing is happening. Completely ignoring the baton strikes. And this is another thing where you have a baton in your hand, it's already a light weapon, it's a weapon that doesn't do much damage to begin with. Why on earth would you be hitting the suspect in the legs with a baton? Legs are probably the strongest part on your body. You can take a hit there more than you can take a hit anywhere else. If you're going to hit the suspect with a baton, you've got to hit them in the head with it. You've got to hit them in the neck with it. You have to hit them in a place where it's actually going to do some damage. And what they're doing, hitting them in the back, hitting in the legs, you're just wasting your time. So again, that's a lack of training. You can see again, he hits him with a baton. It does nothing. You see, it just makes the suspect angry. He's just coming at the police officer. I mean, you can imagine you have a weapon in your hand, you hit the person with it repeatedly, and all you do is make them more angry and get them coming after you. Clearly, you're not doing any damage to this suspect. Clearly, you're not hitting them in the right places. Clearly, you don't have the right weapon for the job. Look at this. I mean, this is what it looks like when you have 5 people with no training attempting to subdue a suspect. Any one of these officers could have lunged in, done a tackle, taken out this guy's legs, brought him down to the ground, and the other officers pile on, and it's over. It's done with. They gave him entirely too much time and space. He got to swing multiple times at these officers. Nobody had pepper spray. Nobody had a taser. Nobody had anything that could stop this guy other than a firearm. And you can see they do eventually get him on the ground. Finally, an officer with a taser does show up. You can see the taser. But you remember in my last video that I showed where it was 1 female police officer versus 1 suspect, and I said that was a dangerous situation. Here you have at least 5 police officers against 1 suspect, and you can see that even here, any one of those officers would have been wiped out by this 1 suspect easily. He was strong enough that he was giving all 5 of them a hard time for a very long time. Eventually they get him to the ground, they tackle him down, and you can see that they get control.
Welcome to Milwaukee, baby. You know how it is when it get warm, nigga, and I'm always on location.
It was 5, 6 police officers to take 1 person down. And of course, the crowd now that starts to form, and of course the crowd, when they see this, they think the police are beating up on an innocent man. So that's always the perspective that the crowd has. When a crowd forms, it's always that the police officers are beating up on an innocent man. So they're always against you when they show up. They're always a threat, and they're always going to work to undermine whatever efforts you're doing. So this is why it's so important. This arrest here should have ended minutes ago. You tackle the guy, you take him to the ground, you pile on, you get him handcuffed, and you drag him into the patrol car, and you get him out of there as fast as you possibly can. You don't fool around, you don't try to go hands-on with the guy, you don't waste time. You put him down, you take him out, and that's it. It's over. These officers should have been equipped with pepper spray or tasers right from the very beginning. They should have used that option within the first 5 seconds of this encounter. There should have been pepper spray being deployed. There should have been the taser being deployed. As soon as the suspect started walking away up the sidewalk, taser, right there. 5 seconds in, taser, drop him. This was an absolute charade. And you can't do that if you want to hope to survive, because that is absolutely silly. It puts you in danger. It puts all of your teammates in danger there. You can't take that long to make an arrest, to subdue a suspect. So again, I hope this helps. Like I've said before in my other video, officers need to work in pairs. In this case, you could see they needed even more than that. But every police officer needs to be equipped with pepper spray, with tasers. They need to have multiple options to take people down. You can't just rely on the baton, because you can see that the baton is borderline useless in almost every case. The baton does almost nothing. And these officers are not trained to go hand to hand with anybody. So if you don't have the training hand to hand, and you don't have you're not packing anything more than a little wimpy extendable baton, then this is ultimately what happens. You have to waste a lot of resources, and you have to waste a lot of time to take down 1 person. And to me, that's not acceptable. I think police can do a lot better than that. So let me know what you think. Till next time, thanks.